Welcome to Daily Iceland. My name is Valur Grettisson. I'm editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine.
And I'm Andie Fontaine. I'm the news editor at the Reykjavík Grapevine.
We're going to do what Icelanders are talking about these days. And a lot of things have happened since last time we were here. It was like way too long time ago.
Yes. Feels like ages.
Feels like ages.
Yes.
But we are of course also trying to publish a paper. So we often perhaps are not that frequent as we want to be here. But remember to like and subscribe. If you do that, we can be much more often here and be with you, our fans and our readers. But I think we should just start with the heavy stuff, right?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way.
We had a killing. Icelander killed another Icelander in Norway, a town called Mehamn.
I presume that's what it's called.
Yeah. It's in where? It's near Tromsø.
Yeah, it's way up north.
Yeah. People know perhaps the town Tromsø. Mehamn is only a town of 800 people. It's very similar to the small fishing towns in Iceland. And these brothers, half brothers, got into an argument, and other one is accused of killing his older brother by shooting him.
Yeah.
By accident, perhaps, but we're not sure how exactly the details are.
Yeah, especially considering that the coverage is painting two very starkly different pictures of these two siblings. The one being this modeled citizen who was a very friendly neighbor, a fisherman who was saving up to buy a bigger boat, and the other one being pretty much a career criminal who has a long list of offenses behind him, well, at least here in Iceland. I don't really know about his criminal record in Norway.
The younger one is he was sentenced for rape with another man. Two men raped one girl. He has often been convicted for assaults and of course drunk driving and stuff like this. In Icelandic media, they said that the younger one, the one that killed his brother, he has a nálgunarbann,
a
restraining order on him, and it was because of some personal matters.
Yeah.
So he went to him in the last weekend in the night with a gun, and supposedly he was going to scare him off. Yeah. But then the shot rang out and his brother died. So he's in custody now, also with another Icelandic man in Norway. The other man is not. He says that he did not commit any crimes. He was with him afterwards, something like that.
Yes.
It's unclear though.
Yes, his status is a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah.
Because the police are saying that he's not directly implicated, but he's involved.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. So it's a tragedy, and it has shaken both Norway, the Norway society in Norway, and of course Tromsø and Mehamn, and also in Iceland. Something to add to it.
What can you add to a story like that?
Yeah. It's just it's sad. We have 1 to 2 killings in Iceland per year, if that much. And it's most often, almost always related to it's either being drunk, someone is killed, or it's jealousy or something like that. So it's not a common thing in Iceland.
No.
On to the lighter news.
Yes,
right?
Please.
You have to tell me about this.
Palate cleanser. Now, a lot of people who are pet owners in Iceland are probably familiar with Iceland's very strict laws about quarantines. Normally, when you bring a pet to Iceland, it must be in quarantine for, I believe, 6 weeks.
It's horrible.
Yeah, you're separated from the owner for a very long time, and the worst of it is if you try to get around this law and you get caught, your animal could be put down by authorities and you have to pay the bill for it. And that is, insult to injury. But now, the Icelandic government is actually looking into relaxing these a little bit.
Yeah, because there is no scientific reason that you should quarantine the animal for 6 weeks, 1.5 months. No. It's crazy.
This top veterinary specialist in Denmark had pointed out two other countries that are also island nations and also really sensitive about invasive species, Australia and New Zealand. They have a quarantine period of 10 days. So there's really no scientific basis for this really tedious length of a quarantine period for any pets.
Yeah, it's like it's outdated, obviously, but it's also like a part of like the insanity of Icelanders when it comes to like keeping everything clean and like not with diseases. Of course, we had like nasty, things with like the sheeps and so on. They got him like very sick like a few decades ago. So we have very strong quarantine laws because of animals. And of course, like animals in Iceland are like, you have very few ones if you think about it.
Yes.
So it's like, we are very fascist about this, if that's the
like
right word.
One native mammal, isn't it? Like the Arctic fox.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like even the reindeer are imported.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I think it also speaks to like this obsession with that you find within the government with bureaucracy.
Yeah.
That like, I mean, despite being a country of 300,000 people, we have a bureaucracy that could rival countries of millions. You know, because that's what makes us a real country. When you have like 6 tiers of middle management that a particular process has to go through, then you know you're a real country now. But there's with this quarantine thing, like there is no scientific basis for it. And the Icelandic Kennel Club, the dog owners, they were really happy about this.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, 1.5 months, imagine. But how is it? Like, is it it's like a bill in the parliament, and they're like researching it, or for how long will it be? Like, will they change this within the year? Or?
Well, the Ministry of the Interior issued this report, and the report's findings have been submitted to the ministry. So now it's the ministry's turn. I'm not sure if this will lead to new legislation where the ministry can simply change its regulations. For the unfamiliar, like not everything that's on the books in Iceland is a law per se. There's a lot of regulations, and regulations can be changed by a minister without having to take the matter to parliament. And that might be the case with this pet quarantine thing.
But keep in mind, like Icelanders are so protective about their like farming industry and so on, that we can't even import like fresh meat. No. It's like now the EU is like forcing us to do it, and everything is crazy in the Progressive Party, one of 3 political parties that is a coalition in Iceland, and it's like it's making a lot of tension. So I would think that they would not be happy actually about changing these laws.
Yeah, I'm waiting with bated breath for Sigmund the Dodgy to talk about like the invasion of European animals in Iceland and protect like the precious Icelandic sheepdog.
Yes. The sheepdog will be named.
Yeah, bank on it.
Okay, let's go again. With animals.
Yeah.
The belugas.
Yeah.
We had a brilliant article.
Beluga whales, it needs to be emphasized, not the belugas, the fish.
Exactly. The beluga whale is, most of you know about the spy, beluga, but which was very unfortunate because Icelanders are importing 2 live belugas from China. So they were in like a sea, what do you call it, like Sæter or something.
Yeah, they're in a sea park.
Sea park, yeah. And the thing is like, it costs a lot of money. They're going to be in Westman Island. Perhaps you remember Free Willy.
Yeah.
He was also at the same spot, but he kind of like gave up and just died. It was a sad moment. But they're going to do the same thing with these belugas, and they're hoping that they will get like a second chance after being like circus animal in China for years. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
like,
it's a noble aim.
Yeah.
Because I think that these sea parks or water parks or whatever you want to call them, they're definitely an anachronism. They're a throwback to an earlier, crueler time.
Yeah.
But what nobody's talking about, right? Like, since you brought up the spy whale,
yes.
The origins of these 2 beluga whales, Russian Arctic waters.
That's the thing.
Coming to a NATO country. No one is talking about this.
I know. We are not scared enough, I think.
I don't think so. Have they been vetted? Has anyone interviewed them? Have the police or the Coast Guard been involved at all?
How are they dressed? There's
no background check for beluga whales. Who knows what they're going to be up to? I think they should be examined thoroughly, perhaps put in quarantine for 6 months.
I mean, it's an amazing coincidence if you think about it.
It really is.
I don't know, what will Sigmundur Davíð say about this? I mean, we're inviting spies now to Iceland?
Yes, that's what we're doing. It's a European invasion all over again.
I don't know.
I think it's a good thing the base isn't here.
Yeah, that's true.
Anymore. Because
also,
the NATO base was involved.
Also, like, what to spy on in Westman Island. It's a beautiful island, actually, but it's not much... I can't imagine they have many secrets.
Well, there is the submarine watching station a few kilometers west of there.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
This is a
what if
strategical
the beluga
point.
whales were like trained by the Russians in Arctic waters to mess up the submarine listening cable?
Yeah.
And then they sent them to China and created this sob story about how the beluga whales are abused, eliciting Icelandic sympathy. And they were brought over here, and that's when they Manchurian Candidate us. And just mark my words.
I am sold. I think these are spies. I don't understand anything. I thought this was an odd decision from the get-go.
Yeah, out of nowhere. I don't know where this happens.
I mean, last time we tried this, the whale just gave up and died. And it was a sad moment. So it's like, I don't know.
And you know who's been silent in all this?
No.
Vladimir Putin. He hasn't said a word about
what?
this. I'm telling you, it's a plot. Everything, the Russians are behind everything, right? So they gotta be behind this.
Then on to Hatari.
Yeah.
We're talking about spies and like the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah.
Hatari, the haters, our Eurovision song will compete in Israel in the middle of May.
Yes.
They have been taking a lot of heat.
They sure have.
Like what the hell is happening? Like.
Well, first, the Simon Wiesenthal Center is a very well-known organization.
The guys basically that hunt like Nazis.
Yes, they hunt Nazis. They do not play around. They issued a statement about Hatari saying that they should be banned for participating in Eurovision because they have a political message, and kind of a predictable response, one would think. But then I wake up this morning to read the news that the BDS movement, which is a Palestinian grassroots movement, are telling Hatari, like, if you really support us, then just boycott Eurovision. The language they actually used was, don't cross the picket line.
Nobody wants that. That's the funniest thing.
Like, neither side of this debate, neither the pro-Israeli or the pro-Palestinian side of this issue believe Hatari should be participating in Eurovision.
But the funniest thing is, like, they haven't really said anything about this conflict, but they have been like very vocal about it. It's like they are anti-capitalistic, and they want to take down the establishment somehow. But in a very nihilistic and sarcastic way, though.
Yes.
So it's like why would Palestinians think that they are rooting for them? And why do Jews think they hate them? It's like,
I don't know, and that's very strange as well, because the Jewish people are not a monolith. I mean, there are definitely Jewish people who are very critical of the Israeli government and its policies towards Palestinian people in particular. So it's not like, everybody is like speaking with one voice across the millions of Jewish people around the world or something like this.
No, exactly. I mean, the debate, of course, like, it's not against Jews, it's not against the Palestinians or with the Palestinians, but I mean, I guess it's more about the Israeli government or how they're handling the Palestinian occupation. Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, that's up for debate. I mean, you can't criticize the artist for saying that these kind of occupations, like in the 21st century, is like
is true.
Is a little bit wrong, or you could do this better, or just let them free somehow.
Yeah, there are plenty of criticisms you could make. I think that the Simon Wiesenthal Center, citing Rule 2.6 of the Eurovision Song Contest, that you cannot use the contest as a political platform, is a little bit disingenuous. Considering we've had a lot of political Eurovision acts, exactly. Polapunk, if you remember them. It was a couple of years ago, or was it even last year?
No, it's
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, some years ago.
Anyway, they went to Eurovision with an expressly anti-racist song. It was definitely political, But like nobody raised a stink about that, did they?
No.
I mean, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Like it's good. No one objected to the answer.
Where are we headed?
It's definitely good. It's just like, Eurovision's been used as a platform to criticize Russian dominance in Eastern Europe. It's been used to bring up the Armenian genocide.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been used to advocate for queer rights.
Yeah.
Like these are all good things, and so it's not like Hatari are the very first people to come forward with a political message.
Yeah, and saying like we're anti-war. Like all Eurovision about is anti-war basically.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing, is that Hatari's song is not even about Israel or Palestine. It's this dismal vision of like Europe just crumbling to its foundations.
Because of like the division of like you can find on the social media, like you can find like this hate speech and so on. I mean, it's against hate and it's against war and whatever. I mean, falls solidly into the realm of Eurovision. Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you think this is like? How I feel it is like you have like two extreme fractions. You have the fraction to the left that will say like don't go to Israel because if you want to help the Palestinians. Then you have the other fraction like that says that you are like criticizing Jews and this is like anti-Semitic and so on. But the middle of it is like, I mean, the population, like the people. They like it, right? I mean,
which people though?
Like the general, the general, almenningur, like general people
of Europe.
Yeah, at least in Iceland.
Yeah. I mean, people in Iceland love it. But I do think that like if you're white and from Northern Europe and you want to stand up in solidarity with marginalized peoples from the Middle East. And those marginalized peoples tell you you're doing it wrong and this is actually the way you should do it, you should probably listen to them, is what I'm saying.
Still, I mean, the same with the Israeli government and so on. They say the same. Why should you not listen to them? And say like, I mean,
no, we absolutely shouldn't listen to them.
The Jews were like the most hated group of them all in mankind. I mean,
yeah, well, within Israel anyway, they are instigating. Like I remember South Africa very clearly. Like Israel is an apartheid state. I'm sorry. Like
I disagree with that.
Well,
okay.
You can, but it's like they are.
It's not the same. I think there are important things that makes this comparison not accurate.
This is exactly why you should never get into an internet fight about Israel-Palestine, because you're never going to solve it in the comment section of a Facebook reply. Ever. Like, we're not going to resolve it here.
No.
Jared Kushner is also not going to resolve it, by the way.
Really? I really believe that Jared would
pull his
Jared off. Yeah.
Are you Team Jared?
So what do you think? Do you think they will go forward and compete? Do you think they will have tricks up their sleeve?
I honestly think that they still will go forward. Hatari has positioned themselves and worked very hard to position themselves as provocateurs, and they actually welcome criticism. Like when they get criticized, they embrace it, and they're kind of like that sun from The Fifth Element. Like if you fire things at it, it just grows stronger. And, and that's kind of how they are. And
that's a good point.
So yeah, I do think that they're going to go forward anyways.
But do you think like they will win? Will it be like in the top 10 or like that, something like that?
I seriously doubt it. No. Yeah. There's already a very concerted internet campaign going on, both from like pro-Israeli groups and from like the 0 points boycott Eurovision group of thing that I think are probably going to hurt everybody's score, but probably theirs in particular as well, especially now that an actual pro-Palestinian group has told them to stay out.
But they are kind of handpicked out of the group, right? I mean, Hatari. I mean, I mean, if you think about it, like this criticism, at least from the Palestinians, is forward to everyone. But they handpick Hatari. And the Israelis, they handpick Hatari also. I mean, of course they are most vocal about it. Understandable for the Israelis, but not so much from the other side.
I think it's definitely understandable from the Palestinian point of view, because Hatari are the only act that have expressly said, we are pro-Palestinian, we support Palestine, and this is what we want to do in support of them, is make this statement.
Have they been that vocal about it?
Not since that written statement that I'm aware of, and also challenging Benjamin Netanyahu to a wrestling match, which as far as I know, he hasn't responded to yet.
Which is a brilliant idea, and we should do the same.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in the ring.
I would love to meet him in the ring.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell him short. You never know.
That's true. You
never know. I mean, with Glima, I mean, it's about balance, but you also need to be able to throw your weight around a bit.
That's true. Yes. That's it for today.
Yeah.
This went differently than I thought, but there are a lot of animals. Yeah, the belugas are coming. The Hatari is going. So it's and
cats and dogs are pouring into this country from Europe.
And So it's
It's a great week. Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you.